Hey guys, Daxta here, and welcome back to a different video than usual. I'm going to show you properly how to compress your videos without losing that much video quality, but also a different thing that hardly anyone notices, thinks of, or tries to, how do I say it, be nice to it, you know. It's also sound quality. Hardly anyone tries to look at the sound quality, and me, being the OCD type Dax, I hate when some sound effects are removed due to compression. So all the methods seen on YouTube right now don't work for me. I hate them. But enough of me. I already have the previews. I'm just gonna tell you about preview creation in HandBrake. Let's say you have a 10-minute video, and to test different compression methods on a 10-minute video, that would take a long time, maybe hours to compress, just so you can see that sometimes your video quality or sound quality is bad. So you just have to change it and start over and wait a couple more hours for it to finish. So you have this preview button here with a TV icon. Basically, ignore my friend, he's playing competitive on CSGO with some of his friends. So basically, with the preview button here, instead of compressing the entire Instead of compressing the entire video, you can just compress the first few seconds. Well, not the first few seconds that you choose. So it depends on you. 5, 10, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. Well, it's all up to you. But basically, you can just compress the first few seconds and see how it looks, and if it's okay, you can then compress the entire video. So I have 2 previews here. This one, the right one, it's the method on YouTube that almost everyone puts and says what you have to put in the options. And to me, the sound quality loses a lot of the good effects, the bass, the explosions and shooting doesn't sound that good. It doesn't sound that realistic, and it bothers me at least. Let me just show you on the saving drive. Here's Shadow Play Videos and Battlefield 4. This is what I recorded. It's a 2-minute video. Well, it's about 1 minute and 52 seconds, and it's 636 megabytes in 1080p, high bit rate, 60 frames per second, and high bit rate and audio sample rate on the audio quality. Now, this is what I have found out on HandBrake. Changing the bit rate of the audio doesn't really matter on the file size that much. It changes about 1 or 2 megabytes. But lowering the audio sample rate lowers the audio quality, but it also lowers the file size by a lot. So this is what I got from the 2-minute video. I got 2 separate you can hear my friend laughing right now. I got 2 separate previews at 30 seconds. So basically, this 50 megabyte video of 30 seconds would be about 200 megabytes on the full video. So that's about 640 megabytes to 200 megabytes compression. That's about I wouldn't say 50, I would say about 60% compression, a raw 60% compression. But my method from 50 megabytes lowers it to about 23 megabytes, which is an additional 50% from the first one. So it's about 80% compression from the original video, which would give us about, I don't know, 89, maybe 92 megabytes file size, from comparing to the 200 megabyte file size while compressing in the first method. So my method lowers the file size by a lot. So I'm gonna show you what most people put and do, and they usually get this type of video and this sound quality, and then I'm gonna show you what to do and what options to put in my method. So what most people do, well, as first go to source and file and choose the file that you want to compress, then press on browse and find the folder that you want to save the compressed file to, and you also have to name it. Put it to MP4, check this mark web optimized, which optimizes it for YouTube, of course. Well, not just specifically for YouTube, but it optimizes it for web uploading. Now change the anamorphic to strict. It's default on loose, but change it on strict so it just keeps the source file, source video resolution and aspect ratio. You don't have to touch the cropping. Now move to the video tab. Now the constant quality in RF, the smaller the number, the greater the video quality will be, but it will also increase the file size, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're compressing to lower the file size, of course, not to increase it. So default is on 23, which most people leave, some even lower it to 20. Variable frame rate that's normal. Fast decode is usually not checked, and this is usually on fast and medium. I'm gonna put it on medium right now. This one was compressed on fast, so I'm just gonna show you like this. The H.264 level is on 4.0 and the H.264 is on auto. Now audio. This is what everyone just skips, because no one wants to touch the audio. It's usually on AAC-AV codec, on Dolby Pro Logic 2. The sample rate is on auto. This is usually hidden, and the bit rate usually compresses to about 160 or 192. Sometimes I don't know, I forgot what the default one is. I think it's 128, but testing it for a bit, the bitrate doesn't matter that much. The extremely low bitrate does matter, but 100 and above, you can't really hear the difference. So I just keep mine on 160 because that's also the max on my method of compression. And basically this is the audio is on default when people compress. The video, they just change the constant quality, nothing else. Also the compression speed. Also you have to think of when the compression speed is lower or fast, it will compress extremely fast. The file size will be somewhere close to the original file size. So putting it to placebo, it would take about 2 hours to compress a 2-minute video, but the quality would be a lot better. Also the file size would be extremely low. I'm not lying to you, it's true. The file size would be not 23 megabytes like here, it will be about 5 megabytes. but I don't have time, and I don't know if you have time, so I just this is default. This is what people use. Use it. It's on fast usually. The constant quality is usually on 23, and this is how people just compress it. And you would get this one, the 50 megabyte one. It does compress a lot, like from 600 megabytes to 200, but if you don't have fast internet and you want better sound quality with lower file size, which would take a lot less time for it to upload, then try this method. This is my method. Most of the stuff here is the same. The anamorphics is strict. Now on video, I put the constant quality on 25 as I didn't really see that much of a video quality impact. It still looked amazing while lowering the video size by a bunch. Also putting it to slower, I usually compress it on slower, not very slow. It's usually on slower, only on low, like fast videos I put it on very slow, but I put it to slower. I turn on like click here on the fast decode, which as you can hear read like here, reduce decoder CPU usage. So the CPU doesn't get used that much, and it's the more power of the CPU is used on direct compression. So turning this on is very good. Now H.264 profile set it to high, so the compression and quality is better. And H.264 level on 4.2. I really don't know much about H.264, but high and 4.2 do give me a better quality, video quality, than the default 4.0 and on auto. So I don't know, you can just leave it on default and 4.0, but to me this is better. Now moving on to the most important part, audio. Most people just ignore this. They compress it and the sound quality can be bad, like very bad. I'll compare it. You'll see the comparison of video quality and sound quality a little later, but first I'm going to show you what I do. First I set the codec to MP3, which gave me a lot better sound quality, plus a lower file size. The bitrate doesn't matter that much unless it's less, like lower than 112. The mix down I set to stereo, which is completely normal. Now this is important. If you don't want the sound quality to be bad, but you also want the file size to be low, click on the show button here. Now sample rate, this is what we want to change. On auto, it's the auto option compresses it to 12 sample rate, and that gives the choppy low effects sound quality in the video. Plus I don't know why, but the file size is bigger than this one here. Maybe because of the codec and the mixdown. But testing this for a bit, the sample rate 48, that's 48 kilohertz. It gives a very extremely good sound quality, but the file size is a lot bigger. Now testing all of these for a bit, I have found out that 24 is the lowest sample rate that you can compress on without losing any sound quality, well, without losing any noticeable sound quality. That That's the best way I can explain. Plus the file size is very low. So putting it to 24 sample rate, now you can leave this or you can hide it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to change anything else here, you just have to press on start and it'll compress your video. The quality will be very good and the file size will be very low. So thank you for watching, and I'm just gonna show you the comparison right now, and I'll see you in the next video.